some hype going, everybody. Hype, 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 hype. Get some hype going. Gonna be talking about what just fucking happened tonight. Lots of shit went down. It was pretty crazy. I'll break it down for you. I'll break it all down for y'all. As I adjust my audio here, so we can listen to Bailey's theme and still talk about what the fuck just happened on Smackdown and the Mixed Match Challenge tonight and 205 Live. Oh man, it was a crazy night tonight. A lot went down. Just waiting for some more people to show up, and then I'll start from the top of the show. I got all my notes here. Oh man, how many pages of notes do I have here? Let's see. Oh my gosh, Drake. Ah, here it is. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 27 pages written on what just happened tonight. If that isn't dedication to the professional wrestling business or to the industry, I don't fucking know what is. I really don't. Right? Am I wrong? Am I crazy? Or am I just... Or do I just have no life? Let's see. What's going on, everybody? I'm here. Finally. Who's in the chat? There are 2 people watching. Don't be quiet. I need reception from my audience. Unless you're working on my graphic, then don't fucking talk to me. Finish my graphic first. Alright, here we go. We'll start right from the beginning here. Right from the beginning of Smackdown. So, Smackdown starts with Shane in the ring. And he's talking about how he's not very excited about the main event of Smackdown for the night, which is supposed to be Zayn versus Owens. The winner fights AJ at Fastlane for the title. He says he doesn't believe that they deserve another shot at the title. But someone that he respects believes that they do deserve a shot, and that is Daniel Bryan, and that prompts Daniel Bryan to come out. Bryan comes out. Shane tells him, hey, you know, the universe gets what they want, but right now they're not getting it because the same stuff keeps happening. And literally, right when Shane says that, the whole audience just starts going crazy and chanting Rusev Day. They just go nuts because they want them to notice that they like Rusev. Rusev's super over. He's like the most over right now. Shane breaks from the story and says, duly noted. He notices it. And then they move on. And I'm like, that's great. Hopefully they do notice Rusev. Because he deserves the recognition. And he says, Shane still doesn't believe, however, that Zayn and Owens deserve another shot. Someone else does. Whoever does. He didn't say who. He just said other people deserve shots. And Bryan says, you know, there's been mistakes with how the matches went before. You know, the refs weren't that great, or just something happened, and they had to keep doing it. So he just wanted there to be a fair end to this controversy that keeps continuing, which that I understand as well. Shane wants to know why they keep getting opportunities, Zayn and Owens. He wants to know why they keep getting these opportunities, even though they keep coming up short against AJ Styles. And Shane brings up, you know, you change the landscape of the WWE, but Kevin and Sami, they're nowhere near as good or as powerful as the Yes Movement was. They're nowhere near the level that was. So I don't know. He doesn't know why Daniel was helping them out. Shane says that he also knows that Bryan wants to go back in the ring, which kind of suggests that Shane believes that Bryan wants Sami or Owens to win the title for him. And then he straight up says, yeah, you want them to win so that you can vicariously have the title. Right after he says that, AJ's theme hits. AJ comes out to the ring. He talks about how he's been defending his championship all over the world, doing all kinds of crazy stuff. He talks about how phenomenal he is, because he's the phenomenal one, obviously. He says there's a lot he can take. You know, there's a lot of things he can go through. He can do so much. But the one thing he can't take right now is management's obsession with Kevin and Sami. All the decisions about Sami and Kevin go against AJ. They have. And so he just suggests that Daniel and Shane stay out of his way from here on out when it comes to that. And then they just hit AJ's theme and then he walks out. Then they cut to New Day on Twitter backstage, because the whole Smackdown they were having, you know, you can ask New Day whatever you want and New Day will either respond or not, you know, whatever. I wrote that I'm very much enjoying the Bryan and Shane angle right now. I'm hoping that it leads to a legitimate rivalry, since all the doctors have cleared Bryan to wrestle, except for the WWE doctors. Even better for me would be to see Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles for the title down the line. Maybe not at Mania, because that's a little too short for them to clear Bryan in the WWE. But I think somewhere down the line, Daniel should get a match against AJ. They would put on something, you know, would be a classic, a 5-star. Dave Meltzer would shit his pants. It would just be great. It would be amazing. Then we go back to AJ backstage. He's confronted immediately by Shinsuke, and literally I wrote verbatim what Shinsuke said, because Shinsuke doesn't speak that much English. All he said was, "I'm gonna beat you at WrestleMania." That's it. Then he walks away. He just walked away right after that. Just a reminder to AJ, hey, I'm gonna beat you at WrestleMania. That's it. Then we go to commercial. Come back with our first match of the evening. We have Liv Morgan versus Charlotte Flair. Now, Liv Morgan, oh my god, she's beautiful, but I will admit she's not the best wrestler out there. She's not the best, but she's very attractive, and that's why I'm glad to see her around. I wrote that I'm not exactly sure what the plan for the story is. I never have been. The Riot Squad is just being a nothing stable. They're not really doing much other than just beating up people and just being there, I guess. I wrote that Charlotte is one of the best in the division, up there with Asuka, so I hope that the two face off at Mania rather than Rousey going off against either, because I've never been too excited about this Rousey angle, because I don't know how well of a professional wrestler she's going to be. I know how good of a real wrestler she is, because I've seen her. I've seen her get her ass kicked too, so, you know, here and there. But I don't know how this is going to go. I don't think that they should have just instantly given her this big old match at WrestleMania just because she's Ronda Rousey. I really hope that Charlotte and Asuka have a match, because they would actually put on something that would steal the show and would change the face of the women's division. Okay. Right as the bell rings, Charlotte goes right after Liv, and I wrote that Charlotte's just staying on Liv. Like, it was pretty much Charlotte for a while until they cut to commercial. When they come back from commercial, back on Liv. When Liv finally gets some offense in, Charlotte comes back with a huge chop and a gnarly suplex, followed by a freaking big boot. Like, all in one nice sequence. And it was nice. Then Charlotte goes up to the top rope to go for a nice, you know, flippy move that she does. She does like this really nice, it's like a Phoenix Splash almost, but it's not. I don't even know what to call it. It's really nice. I think it is a Phoenix Splash, but it's like a mid-rope Phoenix Splash almost. Anyway, Liv pulls her down, gets her at a straitjacket hold, which she did earlier in the match, or she tried to do. So I kind of wrote that Liv needs to get some more wear down moves, because that didn't really work out for her. Charlotte gets out of that, hits the backbreaker and the spear. Sarah Logan tries to distract Charlotte after that, but then she takes a nice meaty fist to the face. The ref bans the whole squad from the ringside after that. Charlotte hits another big boot, goes from the figure 4, bridges to the figure 8. Liv taps. Winner, Charlotte Flair. Pretty easy to tell. And then I wrote again, I'm not sure where the story's going. Charlotte said, right after the match, 1 down, 2 to go. So I'm assuming that she just wants to take down the whole squad before, you know, she moves on to other people. Renee is backstage trying to interview Kevin. He reluctantly comes out of his dressing room. She asks if the match will affect Kevin and Sammy's relationship, their friendship, and he tells her, ask Sammy, since, you know, I'm the one that's going to win tonight, see if he can handle a loss. And I'm just like, damn, that's a little tense. We come back from commercial with the second match of the evening, the Bludgeon Brothers versus some local talent jobbers. I wrote literally pretty much the same thing that I wrote with the Nia Jax match last night, if you were watching. It's a pointless, useless match. Of course we know the Bludgeon Brothers are going to win. It brings no excitement to anything. There's no stakes. You can tell that the Bludgeon Brothers are just going to come in and take over. So, again, yeah, the Bludgeon Brothers won really quickly. They hit a double crucifix bomb almost right off the bat after just destroying people. But right after the Bludgeon Brothers were trying to leave, the Usos theme hit, which I thought was really interesting. The Usos come out, stare him up and down, and then the Bludgeon Brothers just leave without doing anything. You know, take the high road. I believe in taking the high road as well. The Usos... Oh, I can't play this song. I can't do this shit. WWE, dude. No, you can't do that. You can play... This one's alright. This one's good. I can do this one, but I can't do... I can't do Enzo Amore. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't do it. I feel so bad for him, but I can't do it. Alright. So right after that, Usos are in the ring. They're cutting their normal promo. They're talking about the penitentiary this time. They're not talking about any tag teams specifically. They're just talking about the penitentiary itself. And they're saying how it's worse than a prison, it's sadder, and how they run it all. They say that how they went from the silly Usos, you know, that wear their face paint and do all the rainbow stuff, to, you know, the thug, serious, day one-ish guys that they are now. And they've always had really good in-ring ability, but now they're actually getting over from the crowds, and they're fitting in their persona very well. I'm very proud of the Usos throughout their whole career, and especially where they are now. They deserve to stay tag team champions for however long they want to. I wrote, you think you feel someone creeping? It's not paranoia. It's the Usos! Now, alright, after that, we move on to the top 10 list that Daniel Bryan announced last week. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the top 10 list, it's basically all of the superstars backstage will get a vote on who they think was the best superstar of the week, and they're going to compile all of that into a top 10 list. This is based on what the superstars actually think, like, not the WWE Universe. The rules are that the superstars can't vote for themselves, and that's really the only rule. You can't vote for yourself. So, you know, if you could, then it would be real shitty. This is the top 10 list as revealed by Daniel Bryan from the locker room. Top 10 best of the week. Number 10, you might have guessed it, our boy Ty Dillinger, because he just has to be number 10. And number 9, we have Randy Orton, the Viper. Very low on the list because he hasn't been doing much on the roster lately. We have number 8, Becky Lynch. Nice to see her on the list, you know. She hasn't been doing much either, but it's good to see her on the list. Number 7, we have the tag team champions, the Usos, who I was just talking about earlier. I'm not that glad to see them so far down the list, but glad to see them on the list anyway. Number 6, we have the New Day, right above the Usos, even though there's no real reason for that. The only thing I could argue with that is that they put on a great performance at the Royal Rumble in the Royal Rumble match, but not as good as the Usos did in their 2 out of 3 Falls match. I wouldn't say so. So that would be the thing I would switch out of this list right now. Number 5, we have the glorious U.S. champion Bobby Roode. Makes sense. You know, he's Bobby Roode. He's great. Number 4, the most surprising name in this list. I don't know why she's even in the list at all. Naomi. Naomi at number 4. Makes not much sense to me why she's number 4. But then again, I'm not backstage. I'm not a superstar. You know, that's not for me to say. Number 3, we have the 2018 Men's Royal Rumble winner, Shinsuke Nakamura. You know, he deserves to be at number 3. He's such a powerhouse. With that strong style, I didn't say it wrong this week. He's got it all. The only thing he doesn't have right now is that promo ability. But when he does speak, you know, it's something that you want to listen to. He's always engaging you. Number 2, we have the women's champion, Charlotte Flair. Makes sense, you know, she's the women's champion. Why wouldn't she be above all the rest of the women? And if I'm saying that she's all above the rest of the women, number 1 must be the men's champion, AJ Styles. Makes sense, right? Men and women champions being top 2 spots. You know? I only wrote that I'm really surprised that Naomi got number 4 and the New Day are above the Usos. And the one person I would have loved to see on the list that wasn't on the list, that I don't understand, was Rusev. Why wasn't Rusev on the list? It's 2018. Rusev Day is one of the biggest meme gimmicks right now. Rusev's big. And I love him. I think he should have been in the 4th spot instead of Naomi. Personally. Because Rusev gets over, and I don't understand why the backstage couldn't tell that as well. Maybe they just don't like Rusev personally. And speaking of Rusev, right after the top 10 segment, we have Rusev Day in the ring. We're not in the ring, but, you know, Aiden talks about how Rusev is prepped, he's working out, and he tells Rude to get ready to lose that title tonight, because they're having their match next. We have Rusev versus Rude for the U.S. Championship. We have English singing in Rude to the ring with thunderous Rusev Day chants. But this time, today, it was special. When English was singing, they had, you know, sing-along captions at the bottom. And they had Rusev's head following along the lyrics. It was actually really great. And I hope they do that every week because it was just hilarious. I loved it. If you would have told me that Rusev would be more over than the glorious Bobby Roode a few months ago, I wouldn't believe you. I would be like, everyone's gonna love glorious Bobby Roode more. Everyone's on the glorious train. It's what they love. It's great. But Rusev is probably the most over character on SmackDown now, and I think that proved it earlier when Shane McMahon was saying, hey, you know, the WWE Universe should get what they want, and they just started chanting Rusev Day without any prompt. So it just shows that people think about Rusev, and they want Rusev to be on the main card. Okay, they go back and forth. These two have a really good match, honestly. I'm trading back some Machka kicks. The glorious DDT tries to get hit, doesn't get hit it. English does a good distraction, allowing Rusev to hit a good Machka kick, but only for a 2-fall. Rusev hits a 3rd Machka kick, I believe. He's dazed, can't get the cover. When they finally get up, they go back and forth. But Bobby Roode falls him right into the glorious DDT, and your winner is Bobby Roode at the 1-2-3, keeping his U.S. Championship. But immediately after, who ruins the celebration ceremony? None other than the Viper Randy Orton, RKOing Bobby Roode in the middle of the ring, RKOing Rusev, RKOing Aiden English, RKOing everybody. No one was safe. Everybody was taking an RKO. And then he picks him up and they take another RKO. Nobody was safe for Randy Orton tonight. Honestly, it was great to see him doing it again. I just wrote RKO in like big letters on my paper because I was just marking out that it just happened out of nowhere. Because I love a good RKO out of nowhere. I think everyone loves a good RKO out of nowhere. Piece of hair in the mouth. Next, after that, we have Shelton and Gable, American Alpha 2.0, cutting a promo against the Fashion Police and Ascension, calling them goofy, saying that they're not serious and that they're going to go down. And so match 4 next is Shelton and Chad versus the Ascension. It's a good match for Benjamin and Gable. You know, they work together really, really well. They honestly do. It's almost as if they've been working together for years, but they've only been working together for the past few months. But their cohesion in the ring it baffles me, because I don't know how they work together so well with such a short time, when I've seen people like Balor and Anderson last night on Raw. They couldn't really do any tag team offense at all. They did a lot of solo work. They worked on themselves. Whereas these fresh tag teamers who've never really worked together are pulling off some crazy stuff together. It was really good to see. It was a pretty quick match. Shelton and Chad hit their finisher and get the 1-2-3. Ascension, I feel bad for them. I feel like they're super underrated. However, with so many really good tag teams on the roster, and with them not getting booked well enough, I just feel like they're going to get swept under the rug, and we're not going to be seeing much of Ascension anymore, other than them being jobbers like they have been. It's very sad, but, you know, what can you do about it? Next, we have Renee interviewing Sami Zayn backstage. He says he's ready to step out of Owens' shadow, because for his whole career, Owens has always been the one that's ahead, with the more titles, with the more spotlight, with all of it. So Zayn says he's ready to finally be the one to win it tonight. And he knows that they're both going to give it their all, so it's going to be one hell of a match. So right after that, we get right into the main event with Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. The winner gets to face AJ at Fastlane. But right after the main event started, we were announced that Ziggler was coming back next week to face Baron Corbin. They just kind of like dropped that in there as if it was something casual. Like, oh yeah, Ziggler's coming back to face Corbin next week. It's no big deal. Like, you know how Ziggler's been gone and doing barely anything? He barely just showed up at the Rumble out of nowhere, and they're just acting like he's been here every week and that he's just facing Corbin in a normal match. Like, it didn't... I don't get it, man. I don't get what they were going for with that. So, and they're continuing Ziggler and Baron Corbin, even though it's been forever since we've had them even having problems. So, whatever. This match, Zayn and Owens, holy crap. Whew. Whew. Wow. It was really good. I have so many, 1, 2, no. 1, 2, no. 1, 2, no. Great spots. Holy crap. I have a bunch of that all over my paper here. So, I would recommend that you just go back and watch that match itself. It was really good. They got some, you know, keep fighting forever chance, because that's how good it was. They were doing fucking phenomenally. No pun intended as AJ's song comes on. I'll just skip towards the end-ish, just so I don't go by the blow-by-blow, because so much happened. It was a really good match. Anyway, we have Sami Zayn stealing the show. Honestly, he was the star of the match. He was pulling off some crazy spots. Keep going with the endurance. And then right after he gets Owens on the outside, he starts going to taunt AJ and telling him, look what I'm doing. Look what I'm doing. I'm doing good. Because AJ's on commentary watching the match to see how it goes. So Zayn keeps getting in AJ's face, like, hey, I'm going to beat you at Fastlane after I beat him right now. And that just sets off AJ, even though I don't know why it set off AJ, because he said he could take a lot, but apparently he can't. AJ starts unloading on not only Zayn, but on Owens as well. He starts just pummeling on the both of them. And so the match just ends by DQ. It was a really confusing ending. Bryan comes out and says, hold up, we can't end that way. We're going to have a triple threat at Fastlane now. Since AJ interfered in this great match from both Owens and Zayn. So at Fastlane, we're going to have, again, AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Except this time, it's a triple threat and not a handicap match. My brain is scrambled. I don't... Why? They just... Yeah, I don't even think I really wrote much. Yeah, I didn't even really write much. I was just like, you know, whatever. They just keep giving AJ these impossible tasks that aren't impossible. He's going to overcome them so he can keep the championship until Mania, so he can fight Shinsuke. So, you know, this storyline, it's kind of predictable where it's going to go. But at the same time, you're just like, why? Why is it continuing? Makes no sense. And then the show goes dark as AJ looks pissed. And so do Sami and Kevin. They all look pissed. And AJ taunts everyone, lays his title in the ring, and says, "Come face me," as the show goes dark. Next, we move on to the Mixed Match Challenge on Facebook, which is Jimmy Uso and Naomi versus Goldust and Mandy Rose, with a special guest referee being either Kurt Angle or Daniel Bryan, voted by the WWE Universe on Facebook. I personally voted for Kurt Angle because I don't trust Daniel Bryan as a special referee anymore. I wrote as a side note that Naomi and Jimmy, they're so adorable out there. They honestly, like, you can tell how happy they are to finally be tagging together. Like, it's always great to see actual married couples go there and be together, because you can tell how happy they are. And I wrote another side note, oh my god, look at Mandy Rose. Oh my god. Goldust and Mandy are so great together. Holy crap. Like, this needs to be like a normal thing every week that I need to see. They should be together more. I was so thrilled to see how well they work together. Mandy Rose being very Goldust-ish with Goldust. They just played off each other so well. It just from the beginning to the end. So the start of the match, they literally trash talk each other and start dancing around. They dance. Like, I'm not joking. They start dancing around. And right after they start dancing around, Goldust, he's like, hold on a second, I need a breath. And he takes a breather for about a good minute or so. and Jimmy's just looking at him like, are you alright? And Goldust starts shouting, you know I'm older than you. You know I'm older than you. You gotta give me some time. And Jimmy's just like, alright. Jimmy's like being a good sport, and he's letting him catch his breath, and is just, alright, whatever. And I'm just, and then right after he's like, let me get my breath, the crowd is going, you still got it. And he's shouting, I never lost it, as he's still trying to catch his breath. It's really funny. So, right after that, he catches his breath, and he throws it right at Jimmy, you know, his, he does that. It was perfect. They throw some hip tosses, they finally start doing some actual wrestling, but then Mandy seductively calls Goldust, and Goldust kisses her hand. Kisses her hand. And it was a nice moment. So then Jimmy goes over to Naomi's corner and kisses her hand. You know, they're trying to like show each other off. Alright? So Goldust then hugs Mandy. Alright, Jimmy's like, alright, I got this. So Jimmy then hugs Naomi. You know, they're married. They can give each other a good hug. Then Jimmy's like, alright, Goldust, I'll show you one up. He kisses Naomi. You know, they're married. They don't care. They can kiss. It's all good. And the whole arena looks at Goldust, and they're like, you gotta kiss her. You gotta kiss her. You gotta kiss her. And they're chanting to kiss. And Daniel Bryan is just standing in the middle of the ring because he's the special guest referee. I forgot to tell you that. He got chosen as the special guest referee, not Kurt Angle. And he's standing in the middle of the ring doing the yes chant. He's getting the whole arena to do the yes chant. And Goldust is looking at Mandy. Mandy's looking at Goldust. They're like, and they guess what? They do it. They kiss. Goldust and Mandy Rose fucking kissed, and it was, the whole arena lost it. It was hysterical. It was fucking great. It was hilarious. But as he's doing it, Jimmy goes for a roll-up. And Daniel's like, no, I'm not going to count it. They tried to kiss each other. And he starts doing the no chant. Well, Jimmy's like, what the hell, dude? You're my general manager. We're supposed to be Smackdown buddies. And nope. Apparently Daniel Bryan is a fan of love more than Smackdown. Oh my god. I just wrote this is the best. Because the whole thing was just a great comedy act. Right after that, Goldust gets the advantage, but Jimmy tags in Naomi. Mandy grabs Naomi by the hair, and oh, you don't grab Naomi by the hair. That drove her nuts. Naomi gets fired up. She gets Mandy in an arm lock after a really nice sequence, and Mandy Rose breaks out with a slam on the face and a nice 2 count. We see Lana and Rusev backstage watching the match. You know, they're hanging out because they're also in the Mixed Match Challenge. They're another actual married couple. Mandy wears down on Naomi, does some nice wear down tactics. Mandy slaps Jimmy right across the face, allowing Naomi to get the advantage because she was distracted. They get the tag again, and Jimmy slams right into Goldust, bringing him down, getting a 2 count. But the 2 count was broken up by Mandy, so it probably would have been a 3 count, but, you know, Mandy Rose breaking it up. Happy Rusev Day. You're damn right. I love how that's the first thing you say after I've been live for 35 fucking minutes, you dick. Mandy and Goldust do a double fucking power slam and get a really good 2 count. It was a nice power slam. They synchronized it pretty well. And then, right after the freaking double power slam, Goldust sets Jimmy Uso up for the freaking crossroads. And nails him right on his freaking dome. And I marked the hell out after seeing the crossroads. Fucking Goldust hitting the move that his brother made famous and is making famous on the indie scene. Oh my god. It was such a good throwback. And we got a 1, 2, nope. Because we got Naomi breaking up the pin. I was so sad. I would have loved to see Goldust win with the crossroads. That would have just been a bow down, a round of applause for the great Cody Rhodes. You know, who we can't mention now. I technically can't call him Cody Rhodes, but I did. Go fuck yourself. It was beautiful, honestly. The whole arena knew what it was. We all knew it was called Crossroads. We all knew it was from Cody Rhodes. It was just very sad to see that it wasn't what got Goldust the win. The pin was breaking up by Naomi, like I said. Goldust eats a super kick from Jimmy. Not Cody Banks. Shut the fuck up. Cody Rhodes. You know who I'm talking about. Be quiet. Yeah, like I said, Rusev. Why did I bring up Rusev? I fucking love Rusev. Goldust eats a super kick from Jimmy, and then a frog splash from Jimmy. They get the 1, 2, 3. Your winners, Naomi and Jimmy Uso. Oh, that's why I brought up Rusev, because Rusev came out right after. He comes out with Lana, and Lana, oh my god. Oh, she looks so great. She always just looks so great. And they chant Rusev Day as he comes out. And Rusev Day starts cutting a promo on Naomi and Jimmy, saying, hey, we're the real married couple here. We're the best married couple here. We're going to bring you guys to the table. And then Rusev brings up his new chant. He brings a new chant. You know, we're not Rusev Day. We're not doing Rusev Day right now. We got a new chant. Lana is the best. Lana's number 1. Lana is the best. Lana's number 1. And literally, the crowd didn't care. They were on it. They were over immediately. Immediately when they heard that, when Rusev started doing that, they were on it, and they started doing it with him. And the whole arena, Lana is the best. Lana number 1. Honestly, Rusev's just gold. Anything he does, people are gonna love it. It's gonna get over. Now Lana has her own Rusev Day-ish chant. It was almost immediate that the whole crowd just loved it. And I wrote right after that just the MMC was just so good. It was really good. It was the best tonight out of all the MMC matches so far. It had a great combination of the entertainment aspect and the athleticism. They pulled off some really good spots. I would have never expected the match I got from, you know, Naomi and Jimmy being fucking cute as hell together, to the greatness of Mandy and fucking Goldust together. They work together so well, to the in-ring antics, to even Daniel Bryan just fucking being a goof the whole time. It was amazing. I loved it. It was amazing. And I just want more of Mandy Rose and Goldust, even though I know it's probably not going to happen. You know, it's probably just for the MMC. I love how you guys are just making Cody Banks references while I'm trying to have my serious wrestling stream. Next, MMC's over, so we move on to 205 Live. I started my 205 Live segment by saying I wish I would have started this whole series earlier, because with Rockstar Spud or Drake Maverick as the new manager, things have been just so much better. It finally excites me with this new tournament and the promise of surprises, along with speculation of huge returns. Oh God damn it, you guys. I'm trying to focus here. And almost every single match on 205 Live has had some excitement, honestly. It's had some flavor. It's had some stakes, which is what most of the WWE has been lacking. You know, there's no high stakes. So we start immediately on 205 Live with the first match of the evening, Kalisto versus Lince Dorado. It's a battle of the luchas. You know, this is what we've been wanting to see on 205 Live in the Cruiserweight division. We've been wanting to see some lucha action, and we finally did. So they start with a handshake in the ring, a sign of respect, but they do a hard pullback. You know, it's hard. You know, they know this is for WrestleMania. This is the dream. So we'll show each other respect, but we're gonna kick each other's fucking ass. We're gonna be watching Cloverfield Flesh. So there you go. Anyway, I wrote that they go back and forth with some impressive flips. They do some really cool stuff. Drake Maverick's watching from backstage. Oh, you're saying you don't know, even though literally you were saying, yeah, it's gonna be Cloverfield. Alright, cool. Yep, they're hitting some impressive moves through the ropes. Lince hits the handspring stunner, which it's a cool move to watch because it's a nice handspring into a stone cold stunner. It's nice, but he only gets a good 2 count. He lines up on the ropes for a good shooting star press. Both of those movies fucking suck flesh. We are not watching either of those goddamn movies. Lince gets him back in to the ring after they do some cool, you know. Oh, no, he's hit the shooting star press. Kalisto rolled out of the ring to avoid a pinfall. Lince goes out, throws him back in, which gives him time to get out of the 2 count. Kalisto hits the Selena del Sol, and it's an actual 1, 2, 3. But as the hand was on the mat, Lince grabbed the rope, and the ref noticed it, so he waved the 3 call. He said, "Nope, it wasn't 3. It wasn't 3." He had his hand on the rope. Keep the match going. It was a really close call. I wrote a huge sequence of moves because they kept going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That's actually a good idea, Matt, Fellowship of the Ring, but I thought we were doing Cloverfield. I thought that was like what we said we were going to do. But, you know, I guess I could have been wrong. They hit a huge sequence of moves. Kalisto gets another Selena del Sol for the final 1, 2, and 3. We were winner of the match, Kalisto. Lucha, 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 lucha. I wrote it was a really, really, really good endurance match of some of the most acrobatic superstars in the WWE today. Lince raises Kalisto's hand in a sign of respect for a fellow lucha. Right after that, we get a Roderick Strong video promo on his life, his family, you know, everything he's had to go through. Yeah, we're definitely going to save JFK more tonight. I was planning on that anyway. Yep, we have a Roderick Strong video promo on his life, his family, which tells me that he's going to be staying on 205 Live for some time. And, you know, that's alright because he's been on NXT, he's fought them all, you know, he's gone really far. So I think it is time for him to move over to the main roster. Even if it's a minor show, it's still the main roster. It's the Cruiserweight Championship, too. So, having this chance in this tournament, I think it's good for Roderick. Mark Andrew also gets another... He gets a video promo as well. You know, he was in the UK tournament, so that tells me that he's also coming to 205. We have fucking Akira Tozawa backstage, cutting a funny promo. He fights Mark Andrews next week, saying that when he wins the Cruiserweight Championship, he's going to fire everyone who doesn't like him, even though that's not how it works. We go to commercial. After that, Maverick's backstage with Tony Nese and Drew Gulak. Maverick asks Drew what happened to him and what happened to Nese. Like, they were supposed to be, you know, rough and gritty, and they were supposed to be some of the best out there right now, and now they're just reduced to a, you know, comedy act. He wants them to unlock their full potential as superstars. So next week, we're going to have Drew Gulak versus Tony Nese in the tournament. Whoever wins advances to the second round. Now, we move on to the main event of 205. Yeah, the second match of 205 is the main event. Hideo Itami versus Roderick Strong in the first round of the Cruiserweight tournament. Now, let me see how many pages I wrote on this frickin' match, because... 1, 2, 3, 4... 5. I have 5 pages. I have 5 pages. 5 pages on this match of me writing, like, all of it. All what happened. Not even, like, really all of the back and the blow by blow, but, like, just all of the big spots. I wrote, like, about 5 pages. Because there's just so much to go on. These two guys, they've fought each other all around the world. They have fought each other from Japan to America to Europe, all around. You name it, they've fought there. And now they're finally in the grandest stage of them all. You know, the WWE. This is the granddaddy of it all. This is where everybody wants to go. This is the be-all, end-all of professional wrestling. And they finally made it. Here they are. Hideo Itami, Roderick Strong. 2 of the greatest professional wrestlers in the business. And we've got some crazy spots to go over. From Roderick Strong hitting multiple gut busters to the Cloud 9, getting a crazy 2 count to a nice angle slam. Roderick Strong hit on Hideo. Got a nice pop. Whew. Fucking, you know, Hideo Itami with a code breaker. Or attempting a code breaker. Didn't really work out. Hideo Itami going for a superplex, but hitting a Falcon Arrow instead. I don't know how that happens, but it did. It was amazing, and only got a 2 count. They stumble up and trade some blows with each other. Itami gets the advantage because, you know, he's a really good striker. He goes for his finisher, but misses, and Roderick hits the end of Heartache, which looks like a lumbar check for those of you who don't know what it looks like. And he gets the 1, 2, 3. Your winner, Roderick Strong, beating Hideo Itami in his debut on 205 Live. And all I wrote was just wow, wow, wow. I should have wrote Mamma Mia in, like, big capital letters, because this is the best match I've seen on 205 Live ever. Ever. Just about ever. That's including Neville. That's including Austin Aries, you know. I'm not saying that it's better than the matches at the pay-per-views with Austin Aries and Neville. That's not true. Austin Aries and Neville always put on better pay-per-view matches, but as for 205 Live itself, that was the best 205 Live match I have ever seen in the existence of 205 Live. So if you want to go miss that, and you want to call yourself a wrestling fan and you're going to miss that match, that's on you. That's on you. Because that was a good one. That was a classic. That's one I'm going to have to go back and watch again. Because it was that good. It was that good. So Roderick Strong moving on to the second round of the Cruiserweight tournament. And that's how we end 205 Live. That is how we end WWE's Wrestling for the Night. And I'm very overwhelmed by it all. So much happened. So much. From all of the Smackdown angles to the Mixed Match Challenge being its own thing to the Cruiserweight tournament. It's a lot to process. And yes, all Matt is processing is 619 in the background. Because that's just how it goes. I lost my train of thought because 619 is just being blared through my chat. It's almost like I need a new moderator. He fucked that one up too. But, you know, I think overwhelming is better than underwhelming. And I want to see more weeks like this where I'm just sitting back and I'm like, wow, I don't know how I'm going to sift through all of this that just happened. But I'm not disappointed at all. I think that WWE is actually learning now. They're actually learning what we want. They're learning to read people's opinions on this shit. Because they apparently they had no knowledge of Facebook, of reading, because they literally just did the opposite of what everybody wanted for years. With the occasional, holy crap, they did something right for once. But this year has had such a strong start with everything except for the main card on Raw with Lesnar. That's the one, and with Hardy and Wyatt. Those are the two things that I think need to be changed right now. As for everything else, I feel like they have a goal and they have a story. And I'm very satisfied with that. That's all I ask for. I ask that they just have an end goal in mind. And that they have a story in mind. And that they're not just having these matches to just have these matches. So I have hope. I have hope for the future. I have hope for the future of professional wrestling. When it comes to the main industry. But I know the rest of you don't really care. This is for the wrestling marks that like to discuss this stuff. Matt, you care. You care, but, you know. Whatever. Anyway, I'd like to thank you all for joining me this week on Chatting Smackdown Mixed Match Challenge 205 Live with me, Thorfinn. It's been a crazy few days, but we got through them both. And I look forward to next Monday and Tuesday. I really do. I might let me know if you want to see NXT tomorrow. I might do NXT tomorrow if enough people want to see it, because NXT is only an hour long. You know, that's really brief. That's something I can knock out in probably 15 minutes. I've never heard of NMXT. Is that a good program? NMXT? Should I check? Should I tune into NMXT? I'll think about that. But as for NXT, I might do that tomorrow. It would be easy to talk about. I could probably talk about it, like I said, for 15 minutes or so. It's new, dog? Damn, dude, I'll have to check it out. Alright, but yeah, thank you all for joining me. And I really hope that you will join me next week and tomorrow for more WWE talk. Chatting Smackdown, chatting Raw, chatting 205, chatting MMC, chatting NXT. Maybe someday we'll have chatting Ring of Honor. Maybe someday we'll have chatting NJPW. You know, that's like way down the line, because NJPW, I have to wake up super early if I want to do that. Ring of Honor, that's a possibility. But for right now, we're going to stick to WWE. So thanks for joining me, and I'll catch you tomorrow, possibly, for NXT.